And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem of the Crypto, episode 639. Today is Wednesday, January 13th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish. Today's top stories. ECB President Lagarde renews call for global regulation of Bitcoin. Number of financial planners investing in crypto increases by 50%. Drive your Lambos to the moon, says Lindsay Lohan in crypto promotional vid. Crypto exchange owner gets 10 years in prison for aiding scammers. And last but not least, U.S. Navy awards $1.5 million jet fighter contract to blockchain project. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these Bitcoin prices.
Oh, yeah. So, good bit of green today. Looking at the Bitcoin prices, Bitcoin's at $34,405, up 2% today. Ethereum at $1,000 or $1,057.93 is up 1% today. Stellar at 29 cents is up 4.4%. XRP, which just won't die, at 29 cents is up 4.3%. Chainlink at $15, a good move, up 6% today. And Litecoin at $136 is up 1.9%. And last but not least, EOS, $2.67 is up 2.9%. So we're seeing a lot of green. Some people are calling for a quote unquote alt season as Bitcoin sort of goes sideways or consolidates. We could see that in the next few months. But, this green is just showing me that a lot of people are entering the market every day. And the money, as far as market cap, is not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. Everybody was talking about alt season. That kind of threw me off guard because you're talking about some speculation. That is as speculative as it
That's
gets. I'm
all
not
it is.
sure. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why
straight,
everybody's just
straight
like,
gambling.
right. I'm not sure where the ideal is coming from that it's alt season all of a sudden. I'm just like, all right, well, what fundamental technical analysis does anybody have? And everybody's like,
Alt season.
all season. Bitcoin's up. All right, that's so I'm glad you actually mentioned that because I have been forgetting to talk about it, but I have been seeing the headlines too. But I've been also looking at the prices and volume and some of the fundamentals behind things. I'm like, maybe it's all season, but I don't know how anybody could possibly know that for a fact. So with that being said, be careful. Oh, look who is in the house. Lamar Wilson.
Lamar,
What is
brother. I was
going
just about to
on,
say,
Big Mar?
what up, Lamar? What's up,
Crypto
brother? Glad to
Q,
have you.
Antonio, Malik Howard, Lisa Lee, Madam Crypto, Erica K, Bruce Biggs, Tessa Hall, Jason B. Holmes. What's up from South Korea? Torrance J. Payless. Said alt season was only because of the ICOs. Yeah, I know, right? Who knows what's going on? But today's top story. Christine Lagarde is back in the news. Actually, as our dino of the day, that is right. ECB President Lagarde renews calls for global regulation of Bitcoin. In a recent interview, Lagarde said that Bitcoin has been used to conduct funny business. Totally reprehensible. I don't even know why I'm saying this line because you say these lines so much better than me. Totally reprehensible money laundering activity. She did not put on her political hat and say totally reprehensible. This is an outrage. This is blasphemous. This is let's throw all the words in there. What's going on with Christine Lagarde and her renewed interest into Bitcoin?
Oh yeah. So Christine Lagarde, who I believe just had her 128th birthday,
Hilarious.
tweeted that on a Reuters online event that Bitcoin is a highly speculative asset and has some reprehensible activity, including money laundering, and that regulation has to be applied. It has to be agreed upon at a global level because if there's an escape, an escape will be used. Hey King, why don't you remind the people when we talked to these regulators at the CIAA tournament 3 years ago, what was their response to everything you said?
I
It doesn't
remember.
matter. It needs to be regulated. Tell us, King.
I don't know
What
what
they tell you?
Bitcoin is. We just need to regulate it. I just got to do it.
They literally were telling us we don't know what Bitcoin is, but if it has anything to do with money, we need to regulate it. So moving forward, now that Bitcoin is being established, a lot of people are starting to realize that Bitcoin is here to stay. There are people like Christine Lagarde who their only job is to regulate. So if they do not regulate your life, they don't have a job. So what they use is fear and different tactics to make it feel as though you need them. And she says things like, if there's an escape, we need to close that loophole. Well, the biggest escape is cash. So close that loophole, which they're most likely about to do. Everything is going digital. That's the biggest loophole. And as far as Bitcoin goes, the data's already in. Less than 2% of Bitcoin transactions are used for nefarious things. So I don't see this big thing about funny business and money laundering being a big aspect in the Bitcoin space. But you can best believe the regulators are trying to close off on ramps. They're trying to prevent ways for people to move their money freely. But it's a big game of whack-a-mole. And the best they can do is print more money and throw more money at the problem. And all that does is increase the value of Bitcoin's network, make it more secure, and then they got to keep repeating it. So Christine Lagarde is definitely a dino, definitely old way of thinking. Instead of trying to regulate it, why don't you understand it first?
Yeah, exactly. Regulate, overregulate, regulate some more. You caught me off guard with the last statement you just said. Instead of trying to regulate it, why don't you try to understand it first? They don't care to do that. And again, it's crazy to me because we're looking at this from a point of view of like, it's another human trying to tell you what to do. And it's another human trying to tell you what to do when it comes to a money market. This isn't a real crime we're talking about regular. We're not talking about letting murderers and rapists walk away. We're talking about a financial instrument, right? And it's crazy that it's becoming to this point where it's like, again, these people will kidnap you and throw you in prison if you don't do what they say. And when you're looking at a market like this, they're basically saying, if you don't do what we say about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, even though we didn't believe in it at first, again, we will kidnap your ass and put you in prison or kill you, right? So I don't agree with that, of course. I don't agree with her trying to regulate it over and over again, trying to over-regulate it, trying to talk about it. They don't even understand it. Like you said, back at CIAA, we had, I think it was it FINRA? The FINRA regulator?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
When we were asking him about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the guy literally did not have an answer for anything. I'm sure that video is still on our thing. It's from the CIAA Bitcoin CIAA tournament where we had a Bitcoin booth up back in 2018. I'm sure that video is still on our channel. But the guy literally
first one ever.
He was just like, I don't know what it is, but it's just, it got to be regulated. So like you said, this is crazy. This is definitely that old way of thinking. And I am looking for that T-Rex video. I pulled it up now. I cannot find it. So she's lucky. But she will get a loud roar in a moment.
Yeah, she's lucky she didn't get that roar. Get out of here.
Lucky. The roar is coming. I'm going to talk through it right now, but she is going to get that loud T-Rex roar. Again, that's the Christine Lagarde from the ECB or whatever. Here it is. Here it is, Bitcoin Zay. Let's go ahead and give it to her.
Go ahead and give her that roar.
There it is. Haven't had a dino in a while.
Go back to Jurassic Park. Exactly.
Number of financial planners investing in crypto increases by 50%. This is a huge story, I think, that may be going under the radar, primarily because financial planners are like Kawhi Leonard. All right, you know, we expect them to be MVPs. We expect them to win championships. But when they don't, nobody really gives them a hard time or say anything like you would LeBron James Banks, right? We get on Banks all the time. Let's get on these financial planners. And the reason why I'm talking about financial planners and they're investing in crypto increasing by 50% is because I remember when I started in crypto in 2016, I got Bitcoin there on my left shoulder like, bro, this is the future. Like, all right, you interested? Let's go for it. And I got my financial planner on my right shoulder like, what are you doing? You're about to go in your life. You're going to go into financial ruin. Like, you're doing so great. We've been doing 22% a year for the last 5 years. Why would you want to alter from this direction? So instead of going all into Bitcoin in 2016, I only went a little in. I should have went all in at the time. Of course, we all say that in hindsight. But honestly, that had a lot to do with my financial advisor. I mean, just hearing that FUD getting screamed into your ear like every day. So I think this is a very important story because as financial advisors and financial planners start to actually propose crypto alternatives and financial instruments, we're going to see the market now respond to that from the retail side. We won't see it immediately, but in the next 3 to 5 years, you'll definitely start to see that impact as more financial advisors come on board. So I think this is a very big story to see. But again, this is a survey published by Bitwise. It has found that nearly 10% of investment advisors have made client portfolio allocations into crypto assets. Again, people, I'm telling you, in 2016, no one was talking about diverting your investments into crypto. Like
nobody.
No one.
I had so many battles with financial advisors, so many, because they were like, we're the professionals, we know about finance. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know about Bitcoin. And they didn't realize what I was saying at the time, but look at them now. They're running to it.
And I literally remember calling you up so many times in 2016, like, hey, my bank closed my accounts and they want to meet with me. Like, what's going on? Like, what is this illegal? What's the problem? I remember my financial advisor. I mean, literally, people, I'm a grown man and I have a banker sitting me down, telling me what to do with my money in my account. I have a financial advisor sitting me down, telling me what I need to do with my account. I have a bank manager sitting me down, telling me what I need to do with my money in my account. So that's kind of like when I realized, like, oh, this thing is not only real, but it's here to stay. Because I have other adults sitting me in their office, like I'm in school suspension with the principal, and I just did something wrong. So
yeah, I'm glad
that's
you
when
brought
I
up.
knew it was real for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought up that analogy. That was a great analogy with because again, financial planners have not really gotten the heat of what has transpired. You literally let your clients miss the greatest wealth transfer of all time, especially if they've been in for 10 years and they've
5
been
years
talking about it
straight
for
now. Five
at
years
least
straight,
5.
you've been
You've been talking about it at least 5.
clients miss.
So exactly. So the one thing they don't teach you in B school or about finance, they never have a course that says, well, what if everything changes? Because in the financial world, in their mind, nothing's going to change. This is how it's always going to be. So when you say, okay, well, everything's about to change, they have no playbook for that. It's like, oh, well, my mentor, oh, well, my professor, oh, well, my college degree, none of that matters anymore. And again, in the crypto world, we laugh at billionaires. We talk junk to Warren Buffett. Like, we don't care what you come into the industry with. This is brand new. And this is like farmers showing up during the Industrial Revolution saying, I know how to move my goods across the country. What do I need a train for? And that's exactly what happened. Industrial Revolution came, smacked them in the face. They didn't have a choice. And then later in hindsight, they were like, well, maybe I should have learned from people in the Industrial Revolution. That's what Bitcoin is. That's why financial planners now are scrambling. And that's why they've doubled almost doubled the amount of people that are using Bitcoin as asset location. Great to see. And I'm glad you used that
And shout
analogy.
out to what you just said, bro. You stay dropping gold. You said there should be a class on what if everything changes. Wow. That should actually be a class where you just go in there and be like, all right, today we live on the moon. This is what we're doing. How do we make this work? Because you're right. I am tired of seeing, and this has really been a Western push, maybe from the participation awards. I don't know, but we got this push of where we're going to, we have to do it this way because any other way it will fail and like life will end. And it's kind of like the same thing with Christine Lagarde with the EC, the European Union or ECB or whatever. It's like we can do things drastically different as humans, and everyone will be alive. Like you don't have to you don't have to regulate stuff. You don't have to do X, Y, and Z. Like even if we make a mistake, let's say Bitcoin is wrong and the financial market slips up and people lose a ton of money. It will be a bad 2 to 3 years for a lot of people, and then they'll get right back on the horse. Some people may never recover, but many people will get back on the horse because they're humans, right? It's crazy how people think like one mistake was going to make the entire planet stop moving somehow. But again, just to give you these final numbers, this survey published by crypto index fund provider Bitwise Asset Management has found the number of financial advisors allocating capital toward crypto has increased by roughly 50% in 1 year. The survey conducted in partnership with investment website ETF Trends. Here, let me actually pull up the story as well. Query nearly US based. They said it's so backwards. Query nearly 1,000 US based financial advisors in December. The findings indicate, and again, people, this is in December recently, where we're just seeing Bitcoin go from 17,000 to 30 plus thousand, and you still only have 9.4% of client portfolios being exposed to crypto assets. That is crazy. Less than 10%. As we, for the second time in the last 4 years, see an asset go parabolic. The investment advisors who have not yet allocated to crypto, 15% stated they will, quote, probably invest in virtual currency during 2021. These are the people who says 40,000 is too high, but when it drops to 30,000, they don't buy it, right? These are the probablys, with 2% saying they will definitely invest in the asset class this year. So again, a lot of people haven't done it. You see here 24% saying they've done so, but these numbers are all over the place. And the scary part about this is that these numbers are all over the place during a bull run, right? The amount of people investing is still very low during a bull run. So that should show you that these are institutions or organizations buying it. And as an institution and as a retail investor, you still aren't missing the boat or whatever. So still good to go. And somehow or another, I'm not sure how this is even possible, but Bitcoin Zay is hosting the YouTube, and he has somehow been disconnected. But you know the show will keep rolling. Some more quick shout outs. What is going on? Let's see. Torrance J playlist. Tiffany from New York. Too Rich to Miss. Yemi O. Black Crypto Kid. Malik Howard said Lamar fell asleep on Clubhouse last night. Oh man, Lamar, we about to get you. Rick Cash said this equals funny business. Let's see. Jason B. Holmes, USD is still the number 1 thing used for illegal activities. You already know. What's up, PFC Wells? Anony Mouse, Erica K. Let's see. A few more. Oh, Dio Trice, thank you for the tip. Definitely appreciate it. I don't understand why I haven't been catching the live stream because I'm a morning and a crypto connoisseur. Well, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Rice to rise to the gulags. I'm assuming you're talking about some war zone right there. All right, a few more comments. What's up, Quarter Crawler and Rick? All right, let me get to this next story. Drive your Lambos to the moon, says Lindsay Lohan and crypto promotional vid. People, we might be at the top again because you remember in 2017 we started having the crypto videos. I think was it my favorite boxers. What's the boxer? Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather had a video. DJ Khaled, Jamie Foxx, T.I. All these celebrities were jumping on the crypto advertising train, which we later found out to be a big mistake as the SEC started going after those same celebrities and celebrity-backed projects by basically being security tokens, because of course they were all doing ICOs at the time, right? They're trying to do ICOs. They're using celebrities for notoriety and to pump it. And then of course the SEC came back years later and was like, this is all illegal, including the people you had. Again, this is why this might be a top indicator to me. I know this isn't the very top of Bitcoin, but of course I'm talking short term. Lindsay Lohan decided to jump on the advertising bandwagon. I'm sure she received a pretty penny for it. But again, drive your Lambos to the moon, says Lindsay Lohan in crypto promotional vid. The celebrity was commissioned to record a promotional video for cryptocurrency in which she forecasts new all-time high price highs for Bitcoin and Ether. Again, this is the scary part of possibly nearing the top short term, because you have Lindsay Lohan telling people about Bitcoin Ether prices, and people are actually going to buy it based off of her. Now, again, Lohan's video was commissioned by a crypto news outlet via a platform called Cameo. I actually heard of Cameo. That's an online service that allows people or businesses to hire celebrities to record personalized video messages at agreed upon price. According to the site, as a press time, a user can make a video request from Lohan for roughly $350. Now, this is actually a genius way of marketing in the crypto space. Being out in LA, I actually know a few of the celebrities and notable people who are on Cameo right now. For some of the people I've talked to, you know, different artists of different genres, you know, rapper, singer, whatever, they're telling me that Cameo is a good place for them during COVID to go. So they can actually, oh, there go the main guy. They're saying Cameo is a good place to go during COVID, so you can actually still do whoever you are. You say you're a famous singer, you haven't been doing shows. People can say, hey, I'll pay you $2,000 to come on and send my mom a happy birthday song. In this case, crypto companies or a crypto company decides to hire Lindsay Lohan off of Cameo to do a 12-second video where she talks about cryptocurrency. Quote, I'm just here to say that Ethereum is going to $10,000 and Bitcoin is going to $100,000. Enjoy a prosperous 2021, and I hope you all get to drive your Lambos to the moon. Listen, people.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out for this. This is hilarious and great crypto advertising. Now, seeing the price point on it by saying Ether is going to 10,000. Again, if a person sees this video from Lindsay Lohan, they decide to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, wherever happens to investment happens. But just the fact of the advertising, the way they did it, the way that they actually use Cameo, I think this is pretty cool, because if you go on Cameo, there are some people, some unlikely people you will see on there that are pretty popular. And if you have a new project coming up, them not even knowing it's against SEC regulations and rules, you might actually be able to get somebody to do a Cameo for $300-$400 for a new crypto project and get all of that traction coming into it. So
ICO market back?
That's pretty cool. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Bitcoin say we might need to get on Cameo, get like 3 or 4 celebs or whatever, and pay them and have them be like, you don't watch the gym in the crypto? What are you doing? Like,
exactly, yeah.
And just have it as an intro video.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is great to see, because anytime you see this, this is for the traders. This is the local top. Go ahead and sell. You can go ahead and let it go. But for people who are holders long term, any marketing, any promotion is good for Bitcoin. Anybody, the more people talking about it, even if she doesn't even know what she's talking about, hopefully she doesn't get caught in the same trap as Floyd Mayweather, as DJ Khaled, as T.I., as Jamie Foxx. All of these celebrities who probably just took $1 million and just promoted it, didn't realize the SEC was going to come back later. But again, this is pretty funny to see. And somebody said Lindsay Lohan has that Arab money.
Trust I just saw that. I was just about to say something about
it. A lot of the promotion type stuff for Bitcoin and crypto is coming from that arena. So I can go ahead and tell you right now, if you start seeing girls and Lambos, that's usually where that's coming from. So yeah, I mean, I understand that. A lot of money coming into the market. So you're going to see all types of all types of things like this. Wouldn't be surprised to see it from other celebrities soon.
Yeah, Tiffany from New York, shout out to that with that she has the Arab money. That's hilarious to see when people like, hey, hold on, you ain't gonna be playing Lindsay like that. No, I know she papered up. T-Cat, hilarious. When the girls, when these type of chicks start shilling, it's time to tether up. Rights to Ride said, what's going on? I am new. Please tell your favorite wallet, Cash App has tons of fraud. I need to move from Coinbase to, yeah. Again, we have to actually do this show for beginners. Coinbase, Cash App, yes, move off of those. You just need to send them to your own private wallet. A good wallet is Exodus wallet. Somebody yesterday mentioned blockchain wallet. BRD wallet's pretty solid. We actually interviewed them on our show before. So those are 3 wallets right there. Exodus, BRD, blockchain. What else you got, Bitcoin? A couple wallets.
Hardware wallets, Trezor, Ledger, Cold Card. Those are 3 hardware wallets you can transfer to as well. So yeah.
Thanks, Alex. No matter Alex what, G just put some in the video for us too. Somo Vid, Bitcoin Zay, is eToro still honoring your book promo?
Yes, they still are. We have to change the logistics so that everybody who signs up and pays automatically gets a email saying that they're receiving the book, so we don't have to do it manually. But yes, I receive all of the orders, and all of them are being processed just like everybody else for pre-order. And you are receiving the webinar updates as well. Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Fumble the Face. There we go. 73 people watching, only 27 likes. People smash that like and share. Get that YouTube algorithm popping. We need it. Nate Moss said we need more educators who can relate. It's turning into a money grab when it's really a store of value. It's not a stock. Yeah, they're going to learn, right? They will learn. Let's see. And I saw one other one too. I'll get to it in a second. All right. Crypto exchange owner gets 10 years in prison for aiding scammers. What's going on with this one?
So it's funny how you said it. For aiding scammers. So it looks like the Bulgarian crypto exchange RG Coins has been sentenced. Rosen Iosovov, convicted owner, has been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for money laundering. As previously reported, a federal jury in Frankfort, Kentucky, found the Bulgarian national guilty of conspiracy to commit racketeering and money laundering back in September 2020. It also alleges that he defrauded at least 900 Americans to the tune of over $7 million. This is, as part of the scam, it says, the guy Iosovov and other co-conspirators will advertise on major auction channels like Craigslist and eBay for non-existent luxury items. The funds from this operation were routinely routed via crypto payments to criminal organizations and so on and so forth. So basically they were advertising, hey, we have this for sale. Somebody would send the cash. They would immediately turn it into crypto, so you couldn't, quote unquote, find it, probably disappear off the site, and then they would just take your money and turn it into crypto. So they were found out, and it seems as though they've earned $184,000 from the proceeds of these money laundering transactions. That's really not enough for 10 years, man. If you're gonna get 10 years, you need to be pulling 184 million.
Yeah, the guy we had on yesterday, I think, pulled in 147 mil for his 10-year bid. He only had to pay back 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more sophisticated scammer if you're doing something that's gonna take you 10 years. But yeah, this guy, he got caught up with this, and again, long arm of the law. The first people they go after are people who have exchanges that are defrauding people, because I mean, you're literally taking people's money and just funneling it out. So these are the first people that they go after, and RG Coins got that slap.
It's interesting they they mentioned the Eastern Europe thing that was going on. It's actually it's a whole little thing going on in that area. Let's just put it like that. When it comes to cryptocurrency, it's a few different groups over there operating. So again, it's interesting to see the United States again, long reach of the law. They like Bulgaria, Bo, whatever. We there, like Bo-berry biscuit. I want one of them. All right, we out here.
One of them, yeah. Let me get that up out you.
Right. So again, if you're defrauding U.S. investors, and this is the plus or minus, I guess, for United States citizens when it comes to crypto. Like most things, it's like the minus is that you can't do anything in New York, right? The plus is if somebody in Bulgaria gets you, and you got a friend in the FBI, you might be able to find them depending on who you are. Because I can also guarantee out of those 900 or 600 people, whatever, out of all the people he got, was it at least 900 Americans? It was the one American he got. They don't care about the 899. He got the one wrong one, who's somebody's congressman's kid or senator's brother, or whoever. They got the
brother-in-law to the FBI agent.
Who was like, oh hell no, y'all got me twisted.
Yeah, we about to get this money back, baby. Like
about to get it back today.
If you're gonna steal from your people, we want our stealing to be homegrown. We don't want people from Bulgaria stealing the money. Let us Wall Street. We got that covered. Bulgaria, no, we're gonna shut that down though.
They got the wrong one in that mix. Trust me on that. It wasn't just it's all these Americans we're gonna save. Like, come on, people. How many other exchanges they got off? They haven't said anything to. I haven't heard Bittrex go down yet.
Hey, exactly.
Let's see. So Jizzy Max said the USA always get their cut of action. Look, I don't care if a nickel bag's being sold in the park. I want in.
That's,
you know how it go.
Gang.
Right. What are your thoughts on Richard Hart and his coin, says Reggie Bone? I'm not familiar with Richard Hart off the top of my head.
He created Hex.
Oh, Hex.
I don't think about it.
Super early. I see the hype. I would say super duper early, people. Like, here's the thing. The hype train just keeps bouncing around at new projects, people. And Hex, they don't even have the full hype as it had initially. But it's still going off some of that hype train, people. So that's what I would say. I'm not saying it's a bad project. I haven't done my full due diligence into it. I have looked into it before. That's what I was like, Richard Hart, sound familiar. I've looked into it before. But again, like Hex, EOS, like I can name a few different ones. It's like they're new projects. So like we said, if you're looking at it as not necessarily as a store of value, but if you're looking at it as a real project, be ready to give that project anywhere from 2 to 4 to 3 to 5 years for it to even hit first base, not even go around second base, to even hit that first base of the roadmap. You need to give it at least 2 to 4, 3 to 5 years, people. So just know that when it comes on some of these newer projects. All right. Last but certainly not least, the United States Navy, who y'all? You know we in here. Awards $1.5 million jet fighter contract to blockchain project. Wow.
Oh yeah, shout out to them.
Hey, Navy don't play about that technology. Simba chain, it looks like, has been tapped to beef up the supply chain of the United States Navy after receiving a $1.5 million research grant. Wow. I would tell you something. If there's anywhere where I can actually see blockchain being quickly implemented in the military, it is for the supply chain side of things. Because one thing we always say when it comes to supply and blockchain, we're always like, well, the biggest issues will come on the onboarding, where it's like a human looking at something saying we have this in supply, putting it on the blockchain, and there not being no issues, like no problems there. Well, when it comes to the military, I think this is one of the best use cases because there's no reason to lie, right? If you work on a ship, if you work for air wing or submarines, wherever you work at, and you're in supply, it's like we actually need those supplies. They actually want to send us. Like, no one's trying to lie about the input or output of supplies coming and going, because these are things that are actually going to be used. And of course, in the military, like, you're accountable for your dollars these days after that nasty audit happened back in 2014 for who was around with that, 2013. A lot of money came up missing. Obama was like, hey, we audited the entire military. A lot of people lost their job. But my point is, there is no point to lie when it comes to supply chain. So I think when it comes to blockchain and using supply chain in the military, this was a match made in heaven. I think this is going to be the future, and this is the easy way of doing it. So can you kind of tell us how the Navy is going to be using this blockchain project for this jet fighter contract?
Oh yeah, so this project is responsible for developing a solution to enable demand sensing for critical military weaponry parts. So this will not be the entire supply chain, but it will be critical weapon parts. Demand sensing is a forecasting technique used in supply chain logistics that processes information in real time and can predict demand ahead of time. So basically, it is predictive artificial intelligence, where you can actually see that because this many things are being processed or being shipped out, this is how many we need to actually create. So the work will focus on constructing a use case centered on the Boeing FA-18 Hornet. You may be more familiar with that, King. But its first variant was introduced in the 80s and still forms the backbone of the U.S. Navy today. And the company doing it, Simba Chain, they have, I heard about them in the news back in October. They actually won first prize in a war game scenario hosted by the U.S. Department of Defense, beating out competitors from Boeing. So Simba Chain has actually proven themselves as with using blockchain technology as a supply chain mechanism. And I love the fact that they actually are beating out some of the bigger names that are traditionally the people who get these contracts. For those of you who get government contracts, getting into the blockchain space is very advantageous at this point. 1.5 million is just a start. It's probably going to be 10 million next year. Then it's going to be 100 million.
Is that number's about to keep cranking?
Because the supply is not going to stop. This is just a test run. And this is another way to get into the industry and earn money by shifting your focus to blockchain instead of the past technologies that we had.
You know, I'm definitely with you. If this works, this pilot program, if it works, they're going to get at least $100 million contract. Like, it's just supply chain. This is about to be huge for this company if it works. Now, granted, also, if it works, was also probably going to happen, which is messed up. I told you about military contracts. There is a chance that somebody's going to try to figure out how to make sure Boeing or whoever else can do the exact same thing so they can just keep the contract themselves.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
they
might copy and paste.
Right, because at the end of the day, you're talking about, I'm actually glad they're doing it with this pilot program where they're saying like, hey, the weaponry and the stuff that they're doing it for is very important, because this is the only way for them to actually get their stature as well as like prove, like this is the way to prove themselves for it to be. They can't just be like, oh, this is just some, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, these are screwdrivers. It's like, no, these are the things that make the missile goes to where it needs to be. Like, I'm glad it's important weaponry. That way, when the big contracts do come, they won't say, well, you guys just did it for screwdrivers. They can say, no, we actually did it for something that mattered. But to give you an example of how this is going to work, at least in my eyes, when it's talking about blockchain, is people think about, they said like the F-18 Hornets, whoever. Let's say the Hornets have a lifespan, like the wing, a certain part of the wing has a lifespan of 50 flights, right? Now, of course, everyone's tracking those flights, but those are all humans tracking the flights. What if as soon as that is being ordered or processed, everything done on the blockchain, by the way, too, so it just happens automatically. Let's say it gets ordered automatically and it already knows the likelihood of days gone by for those 50 flights. So let's say every day you do 2 flights. So after 20 something days, 22.5 days or whatever, you have your flights done and it automatically reorders and comes to you, or is automatically tracked. That is what blockchain technology can do, instead of having people with pen and pad like, wait, did we do the 50 flights? Oh, is it time to order? Oh, I forgot to order, or we ordered it and it came in wrong, or all this other stuff. Whereas now, instead of just doing this flat 50 flights, now we're going to increase these flights to 55 until we get the pieces, or even worse, we're just not even going to fly it at all until we get the pieces. So again, this is a big deal when it comes to supply chain management as well as war fighting in general, because and everything. If you can't fly that day, you can't do the mission. If you fly that day and you're past whatever maintenance you need, then that mission could fail and you could actually lose somebody. So again, important stuff. And this is blockchain technology in the real world being used. So definitely want to point that out. Last few comments before we get out of here. CryptoQ said, I'm also a member of the Government Blockchain Association. The government is on blockchain training wheels, right? PFC Wells got an appointment for the SB8 certification for government contracts. If a small company or LLC, okay, I guess you got to get a SB8 certification. There we go. Jizzy Max says, sounds good, but how all the government thieves going to eat? They're going to figure it out.
Got to get they cut. Yeah.
What's going on? Untwisting the game. First time I saw you. Hey, Traveling Joe said, I do fair construction contracts. I can see this becoming huge, right? Like anybody who's seeing government contracts, I am telling you, like blockchain is going to win out. Because unlike the regular government where politicians don't want you to see how much money is coming and going because it's going to their own pockets, in the military, politicians do want you to see where the money is coming and going because it's not going to their own pockets. So I can tell this is actually going to happen. P-Man Van said, just saw the title. You can tell we're in a bull market. Hilarious. Annoy Mouse said, no thoughts on self-driving banks. I don't even know what that means, but I love it.
Hey, if you're gonna have innovation, take it all the way.
Right, exactly. Cicely Elm said, do recent first edition Bitcoin and Black America buyers still get a free digital version of the second edition for waiting?
No, just for second edition purchasers. They receive the digital version and the audio book, and it is available for pre-order still right now.
All right. Other than that, that looks like that's about the news for today. I'm looking at these last few comments. I think somebody already answered it. How do I switch my Coinbase to Exodus link? So basically on Coinbase, if you're going to send Bitcoin, click send. It's going to ask for a receiving address or your Exodus address. Click receive on the Bitcoin, use that address, boom, cut, copy, paste. And then I guess that's about it for today. As always, thanks for watching, people. Oh, and if I forgot, you know, we'll lead the show off with this tomorrow. That was my fault for not having it preloaded. We'll lead it off for tomorrow, but want to give a shout out to our own in-house Bitcoin Zay. Listen, people.
Oh yeah.
We always talk. You know what? No, I'm not waiting until tomorrow. We're gonna lead with it tomorrow too, but we're gonna talk about it today as well, people. Our own in-house Bitcoin Zay was on CNBC yesterday. It's very important that we point this stuff out because we always talk about people on CNBC, all these other news outlets. We talk about the Mark Cubans. We talked about him yesterday. And it was funny. I know you missed the show yesterday since you were on live, but I heard how the host mentioned Mark Cuban and what he said. I actually covered Mark Cuban yesterday. So again, we talk about all this stuff. And this has been a long ride for us so far, even longer for Bitcoin Zay of naysayers. And it's like, oh, so you're telling the guy on CNBC no too now, right? We officially have our own in-house expert, people. This isn't just us calling them that. This is not a drill. As you can see here, Bitcoin Zay yesterday on CNBC. Hey, shout out to you, Bitcoin Zay.
Yeah,
Go back. North Carolina State in the house, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Digital Assets Group.
Throw up every sign.
Underrepresented communities. Explain to us how this can happen.
Certainly. So for the first
Certainly. You know, I started laughing when I heard you say it.
the option to the current financial system, which has
Ooh, look at that, my guy.
Boy, my head was shiny as shit, boy.
acts by retail banks to the Black community. And in my opinion, the Black community has the opportunity to shift our mindset and our money, because money is nothing but monetary energy. We can shift our energy into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because there is no barrier to entry. It is unconfiscatable, which is something we have not seen in the history.
Boom, there it is, people. You can watch the full clip. I am putting it in the comments right now. But again, it is super important we highlight this because again, we're always talking about we don't have a voice, and not just us, but people, whether you're in cryptocurrency or whatever other space you're in different industries, people who are at the top always feel like they don't have a voice. And if you have been following us since our inception, you see how you can create your own voice. You can have your own voice because we started off with like what 20 or 30 clients who watch us live. We still don't have that many, but the important thing is we have engagement from most people who watch us. And as we said, look, you can't hide real value, people. You can say what you want, you can think what you want. It wasn't all these other crypto YouTubers and names you've heard throughout the years making the CNBC. It was Bitcoin Zay who made the CNBC. So I want to give you a shout out to that. You know, hey, gotta get the flowers when they hear people.
Oh yeah,
shout out to Bitcoin
shout out
Zay.
to everybody literally who's been watching us since the beginning. You watched me because King. Shout out to King because before 2017, I had never made a video on Bitcoin. Didn't want to make a video on Bitcoin. Didn't care for anything media related. So King is the one that dragged me to LA. It was like, get your ass on camera. We'd been doing the show all these years, and then it finally led to that. So I appreciate King for that. Appreciate you all for watching because it wouldn't be possible. And also, I want to throw out. Last night we had a very fruitful clubhouse with Meek Mill and Gary V.
Meek Mill came on Clubhouse?
Yeah, it was Gary V, Meek Mill, and a few other people who Mike Novogratz was there talking about collectibles. Who knows? Tyler Winklevoss was in there. A lot of big names. So got the orange pill, a bunch of people with about Bitcoin. 5,000 people in the room, the biggest room I think in Clubhouse history. Somebody said. And I got to tell all of them about Bitcoin, how the dollar cost average, and then move it to a hardware wallet. So I'm glad to see that.
Boss up for you
Times
right now.
are changing. Oh yeah, the times are changing. So
hey,
yesterday was a pretty good day.
And like you said, I also want to thank all the viewers. Thanks for all the continued support, people. We couldn't do it without you because I'm telling you, half the time I know I'd be like, I just want to lay in bed, but I appreciate you all watching. So again, a long show again today. Thanks for everything. Bitcoins Day, shout out to you. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow because that needs to be a top story today, our own in-house expert. And shout out to Clubhouse. I know it was popping like that last night. So yeah, for sure. Until tomorrow, people, cheers, and make sure you smash that